These mutas are really not doing that much damage to response, especially with, I would have thought with that surge of mutas that we saw, 10 of them popping out all at the same time.
Another huge surround and a hallucinated Phoenix for vision, down to just two Mutalisk. Is Destiny going to lose everything? Nope.
Well, Murray the Mutalisk.
There's one sole survivor who is just haplessly colliding right into a cannon.
There we go.
We do see only a few roaches out right now. I mean, throughout all of this, Response has been responding very, very well. He's going to send out a Scout Colossus.
Here he goes.
The mightiest scout in the entire game. So he's just going to turn the fourth.
Just make a lot of Zergs leave, just seeing one Colossus like that walk into your base. Well, that's game.
Yeah, look at that. The one Zergling in the middle of the map.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, look out.
Actually, he's pretty ballsy.
Yeah, he's not going to attack. He's actually going to go check up this north main. He's still continuing to scout with the hallucinated Colossus, an unorthodox use of the hallucination spell.
Some of that.
Look at
scared
this.
as ever. And that Colossus is actually going to pay off because he's going to see this high yield from Destiny.
And is going to try to do a little bit of damage, but is embarrassed that he cannot do anything. Is going to return back home. Response has been responding beautifully throughout all this. Look at this. Is even with food in Destiny, we also see that the bottom right expansion is up and running very, very smoothly. The only advantage that Destiny does have is he's quite far ahead in the upgrades, 1-1, whereas Response is just 1-0. But keep in mind that Chrono Boost can close the gap quickly.
Now, what do you think about kind of this delayed Muta opening into this Roach Hydra build that we see Destiny doing?
I don't mind it as long as Zerg has a lot of drones and a much faster third. But right now we're seeing Destiny in almost the same spot that he's been in the previous matches.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to take a fourth here very soon, but still very, very even in supply. The Zerg is not surging forward. 144 for Response and 135 for Destiny. A couple Lings being sent out to see exactly what's going on.
Looks like they're heading towards the front, and they will find out that there are units there. But meanwhile, at the back, interestingly, Destiny did kill off a cannon there not long ago, so that means that Response doesn't even have any vision of these destructible rocks taking damage. And this is the problem that we were talking about before the game, JP. This is what drives me insane. A Protoss who has 3 bases has such an easy fourth. Now we see Response adding on 3 more warp gates in his main. He's getting the Templar Archives as well, so that means we're going to see a huge surge of Storm coming up. They don't have that Kadaran Amulet, so that does mean the Response is going to have to plan a little bit more strongly, prepare a little bit better, but the drone count quite low at the expansion, quite low in the main. Hive coming down right now for Destiny, but he is still at just 54 drones, and adding on some Spine and Spore Crawlers.
Now, has Destiny actually seen the fact that that Templar Archives does it well? He might see it with those 4 Overseers, right, as I say that.
Oh, my goodness. And it looks like if these Zerglings can get taken down, he can advance forward and knock off all of these cannons and do massive damage with these counterattacking Zerglings. Looks like he's darting forward. Oh, and he's going to contaminate the robotics facility that's not even in use. It's just Templar. And, a feedback on the Overseer, and now it looks like all these other Overseers are hanging out at the right side. Response probably not quite sure what's going on that right flank, but is probably going to suspect something in a moment.
Yeah, now, has Destiny added on any Corruptors into his army? Because he did, in fact, see that Colossus. I'm pretty sure he knows that it was a hallucination, but I'm not sure if he's seen... Well, he actually got feedback, now that I think about it, from that Templar. So, what do you feel about Protoss using Psystorm instead of Colossus against the Zerg army?
I definitely think it's a great plan, especially if you have a lot of Immortals and the amount of expansions that Response does. You can really power out hard with huge gateway numbers. Looks like more pylons going down for Response. This Overseer Zergling combo has yet to do much of anything. It looks like Destiny pulling back to the back of his base, making sure that there's no sort of drop antics that are going to end up harassing him. But with the Hive done, we see Greater Spire getting more for Destiny on the production tab. More Spine and Spore Crawlers going down as we do see Destiny in kind of defensive mode. Looks like that once... he stopped adding creep at the north end. If he ends up losing his Greater Spire to lack of creep spread, that would just be a tragic way to go out.
I just want to watch that Spire, Sean.
We will set the camera to the Spire and just go AFK.
Yeah, ignore the rest of the game as it looks like those Overseers are going to be retreating. We have 200-200 now for Destiny, 190-200 for Response. That is quite a lot of Immortals there, as well as some High Templars added in. Stargates being added in from Response. Typically, we're probably going to see some Void Rays come out of that after he loses a couple forces from his main army.
And there, it looks like the counterattack from Zerglings finally happens. Not nearly good enough. And with this many Overseers, I'm surprised we're not seeing more Contaminate pop out for Destiny, who's now getting some extra geysers. And looks like the Greater Spire wrapping up right now. Oh, that Spire is taking...
Usually it gains health, you know.
Yeah, it's taking a lot of damage just out of a pure accident from Destiny. It looks like Destiny is moving forward with all his Spine and Spore Crawlers. Where are those Corruptors? He hasn't begun morphing them into Broodlords yet. And it looks like here's a huge confrontation. Some pretty good force fields cutting off that side. There's a Storm. Doesn't manage to connect with anything else. And it looks like the 3-3 upgrade, the 3 upgrade is going for the missile attack. But Destiny has not yet begun to morph those Broodlords. And there they do go down. 4 Broodlords incoming. The Greater Spire is at half health. That could completely kill Destiny this game. There's more force fields going down. Response just trying to work his way into this gold expansion. More force fields. The Broodlords still about halfway out, and those High Templar cannot quite manage to reach their way to the front of the base. The Immortals just tearing through all these defensive structures. Huge storms going down, doing a lot of damage, and there are the Broodlords finally hatching, but there are just not that many units there to support them. The gold expansion is taking some heavy hits, and there's the Blink target firing those Broodlords, but that does put the Blink Stalkers right next to the Hydras and the Roaches, and there now are 48 Zerglings popping out, surrounding Response from all sides.
Yeah, I love the fact that he used those force fields to really push back the Zerg army, threw some Side Storms behind it to make sure that they actually couldn't walk forward into that force field, and they just kept pushing his way and forcing his way into the Zerg army. But at the same time, Response is having to fall back right now. Those Hydras soon will be off creep, and I think Response should clean those up.
And there's the Blink pushing back forward again. The Broodlord count is not very high, just down to 1 at this point in time, but still Response is going to end up pulling back to regroup while taking a 5th expansion and 2 Void Rays getting produced right now, completely skipping over that Colossus element to the gameplay and just going for the heavy ground plus Void Ray mix.
Now let's go back to Spire Watts 2011, Sean. What is the HP?
Oh,
it's in
my
the red.
God, it's in the red. Oh my gosh, it's going to be under 200 in just a moment, and those Broodlords are the key unit of Destiny's army. That is what's going to allow him to be aggressive. I mean, I would hate to have a post-match interview be, Destiny, why do you think you lost this game? Well, it was when I lost my Spire. Well, what happened? That happened. This Overlord not doing his job. And the generate creep button, the whole internet will now know definitively that the cat did not make it across the stream.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, God.
And there are now 6 Corruptors that have just hatched, and they're going to be a little bit surprised to find out that the bus is not actually going to come to pick them up for school today. And it looks like Response is going to be just making cannons, gathering up a gigantic force. And oh God, when that second Spire gets started, JP, how painful it's going to be. Response now in a very, very solid position at 3-1 upgrades, 3 attack, 1 armor,
taking
his 3rd. And it looks like, is he...
Oh, man. Destiny's going to hate us for casting.
Oh, Destiny. Wait, okay. Looking around, we have Spire getting produced.
There we go.
Now these can be morphed into Greater Spires to produce the very powerful Broodlord unit that you can use to help push Protoss armies back. But
that's
even
a lot of Void Rays.
I mean, Response is going to be in such a great position. Look how lean this army is. Everything is a very gas-heavy unit. Void Rays, Immortals, Stalkers, and it looks like about 9 Templar on the map, 10 Templar on the map as well. They're moving there. No Spire to kill up in the north end, but it does look like this is going to be a very vulnerable edge. And 5 Broodlords on the field still for Destiny. It looks like, humorously enough, with that Spire gone, he will have more Corruptors, so he'll be able to deal with the Void Rays a little bit more easily. This could be a very nice angle of attack by Destiny. And here is the assault. The Void Rays on the right side starting to move forward to try to pick off these Corruptors on the left. But we can see that these Corruptors are trying to do massive damage. The Storms are ripping through the ground portion of the army. And Response with an absolutely amazing attack. Blink Stalkers darting forward, and the Broodlords getting taken out. Destiny trying to replenish everything that he can, but this composition just a little too strong for Response, who has almost the whole right side of the map. Response now crushing through all the Spine Crawlers and Spore Crawlers. All the units from Destiny trying to regroup, but it is max food to half max food. It's going to be impossible for Destiny to come back.
Psystorm was just so decisive in that last fight. Drones being pulled here, even more and more storms being dropped. Looks like those Stalkers will blink back and let those Immortals take the shots from those roaches. There's really not much Destiny can do here except look up to the north and see the fact that that Spire died. GG.
And there's the good game.
Destiny.
Response takes the series 2-1. I do think that Response was playing so solidly that he would have won almost no matter what Destiny did. However, what Destiny did do was stop generating creep with one Overlord. So that was one of the a little bit more of the awkward experiences, but that's something that
should use that pen to hit the G button.
Got to get out the pencil,
the eraser.
man.
Yeah, it works,
the eraser for the good game. So